Hello friends, welcome to Wow IS. This is the part 8th of the May 2023 current affairs, and in this video we are going to cover the culture topic. In our initiative, we are giving you crisp summaries of the Vision Monthly magazine for this year 2024. You will be provided video lectures also, and the summaries will be not more than 50 pages. And this all will be available at a rupees 599 rupees only. You can pay through this QR code and send us a receipt, or you can use the link provided under the video to subscribe in the course. So let's start with today's topic. Today we are going to start with the culture topic. First topic is inscriptions as source of history. Now, ancient copper plates have been decoded by Pune-based Bhandarkar Oriental Research Institution (BORI), which has shed light on the Sanskrit poetess Sheela Bhatrika. So, the important name here is Sheela Bhatrika. Now, these plates they have been written during the reign of Badami Chalukyan ruler Vijayaditya, whose tenure was from 696 to 733 CE. The plates are held together by a copper ring bearing a Varha boar seal. The Varha seal is the trademark of Badami Chalukya. So you have to remember these points. First of all, the name of the poetess. Second thing, Vijayaditya, his tenure. Third one is Varha seal, that is the seal of the Badami Chalukyans. Now about Sheela Bhatrika, she was a Chalukyan princess, possibly the daughter of Pulkesin II. According to the findings, she lived in the 7th century CE rather than the current theory, which has her as a wife of 8th century Rashtrakuta ruler Dhruv. So this has been corrected from these plates. Second is work of Sheela Bhatrika. They adhere to Panchali style that calls for a balance of words with their meaning. Sanskrit poet critic Raj Shekhar, who lived in the 9th to 10th century, was the court poet of the Gujjar Pratihas, has also praised Sheela Bhatrika for her elegant and beautiful compositions. Now, other prominent Indian poetesses are Gargi, 8th century BCE. She challenged the sage Yajnavalkya, who was writer of Brihadranka Upanishad, with perplexing questions on the issue of Atman. She is also said to have written many hymns in Rig Veda. So this name is important for you. Then Maitreyi, she is in 8th century BCE. She is mentioned in the Brihadranka Upanishad as one of the two wives of the Vedic sage Yajnavalkya. So both are related with Yajnavalkya. In epic Mahabharat and Graha Sutra, however, the Maitri is described as an Advait philosopher who never married. She was expounder, a person who explains of the Vedas. She discussed the nature of Atman and Brahman and their unity with the Yajnavalkya. So she she described Atman and Brahman along with Yajnavalkya. Both of them were involved in that part. Next is key women among Nayanars, circa 7th 8th century CE, Karaikal Ammayar, then Magnayai Karasai, Isai Gannayar, also known as mother of Sundarar. Then Andal, in 10th century CE, she was the only female in 12th Alvars. Alvar composed two works, Tirupavai and Naikar Tirumoli. So these two works are also important for you. Next is Akka Mahadevi, 12th century BC. She wrote the Kannada language and her poems are in the Vakan form, a kind of prose poem that has a rhythmic structure in semiotics and sentence patterns rather than sound. Last one is Attu Kurrai Molla of 1440 CE. She was the daughter of the potter and writer of the first Telugu Ramayana. So these names are important. You can note down them in your notes or you can mark them. The questions can be asked upon these names. Secondly, a mains question can also be framed about Indian poetesses, that female Indian poets. So these names you can write down as examples. Next is Jantar Mantar. Jantar Mantar was made by Maharaja Savai Jai Singh II, whose tenure was from 1686 to 1743. He was the ruler of Amber, which is a Rajput state in Rajasthan. He was a fiduciary of Mughals, and Savai title was given by Emperor Aurangzeb to him. He built the city of Jaipur. The European travelers of the time, like Frenchman Louis Rosselt and English Bishop Herber, were greatly impressed by Jaisingh's unparalleled excellence in the city planning. Now, about Jantar Mantar, he built actually five astronomical observations across north and northern India. That was Maharaja Jai Singh II. These observatories were used to study time and differences between the planets. They observe the movement of planets and time at different places. Timeline of construction. The first to be constructed was the observatory at Delhi in 1724, and the last was completed was observatory at Jaipur in 1738. Jaipur Observatory houses the greatest number and variety of instruments. They include number of instruments that are not duplicated at other sites, such as Kapal Yantra, Rasi Valya Yantra, Unnatmasha Yantra. Key instruments in Delhi's Jantar Mantar, you can see Samrat Yantra, Mishra Yantra, Jai Prakash Yantra, and Ram Yantra. Now, the Ram Yantra, it consists of a pair of cylindrical structures, each with a pillar at the center. It measures the altitude of the stars. Second is Samrat Yantra. This is a large sundial used for calculating and keeping track of time. Then Jaya Prakash. These are two concave hemispherical structures used to find out the position of sun and the heavenly bodies. And Mishra Yantra, it is a mixed instrument. The instrument is used to depict the time of noon in various cities across the globe vis-a-vis local time. Now next is news in short. Tunganath temple, it is situated in Rudraprayag and is more than 1000 years old. It was founded by Arjuna, third of the Pandav brothers. It is the highest Shiv temple in the world. It is referred to as Tritiya Kedar, since it is a part of the Panch Kedar, that is a cluster of Shiv temples. Panch Kedar includes Kedarnath, Madmaheshwar, Tunganath, Rudranath, and Kalpanath, which are spread across Garhwal Himalayas. Next is Juna Katia style. This is an early Harappan burial site located in Lakhpat Taluka of Kutch district in Gujarat. Juna Katia site, not style, it is site. So it is the it contains biggest early Harappan cemetery documented in India so far. Other Harappan sites in Gujarat are Lothal, Surktoda, and Dholavira, which are mentioned in your NCERT books also. Now, what are the major findings? Major findings say that burial sites are often made of dressed sandstones, and majority of them are rectangular in plane, followed by oval and circular ones. Now, paintings on the reserved slip ware jar is peculiar feature noticed. Another distinctive feature includes beakers and other smaller vessels found within the larger vessel. The next is Gongandi shawls. This is Telangana's woolen Gongandi shawls are refashioned into all-weather shoes for farmers by alumni of the National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. It is a traditional woolen blanket woven by the indigenous Kuruma and Kuruba pastoralist communities. Wool of the indigenous Deccani sheep, locally known as Nalla Garoe, is used. The coarse wool blanket is famous for its durability and versatility, and it does not fade but glows darker in time. It is produced organically without using any dyes, either natural or synthetic. Next is Cham Lam dance. It is a mask dance of the Tibetan Buddhism. They wear colorful costumes and dance on the sound of traditional instruments. It is practiced during festivals like Losar. Padma Sambhav, Guru Rinpoche, the founder of Ningimpa, is believed to have started the Cham dance tradition. The dance often depicts scenes of Padma Sambhav's life and his 8 manifestations. Now, next is Govind Swarup Lifetime Achievement Award. Professor Jayant Vishnu Narlikar gets the first Astronomical Society of India's Govind Swarup Lifetime Achievement Award in Pune. This award was established in 2022, that is last year. Professor Govind Swarup, who lived from 1929 to 2021, was the founder of Indian radio astrology. He constructed the Ooty Radio Telescope and giant Metri Wave Radio Telescope. He was the founding director of National Center of the Radio Astrophysics, NCRA, Pune. He was one of the strongest early proponents of the square kilometer array. So with this we have completed the culture part. Next topic will be ethics, which will be covered in the next lecture.